I'm spending the last few days of my solo trip back in Tokyo, more specifically in Ueno. As you can see, it is still raining. As usual, I made a stop at the BookOFFs in Ueno. Compared to the other shops that I've seen in Tokyo so far on this trip, this particular shop was good in terms of the variety of guitars and guitar accessories that they sold. They seem to carry more branded guitars than the ones I've seen outside of Tokyo. Now, if you don't mind, I'm just going to nerd out a little bit and show you the different guitars they had at the time. Some Schecters. So I actually picked out the guitar that caught my eye. A Fender Telecaster with an interesting color scheme, and this is just me trying it out. I did not buy it, however. I kind of regretted it. One rule I discovered is that if you find something you like in Japan, buy it, otherwise you will come to regret it, or you might not be able to find it somewhere else. This trip was the first time that I started using the Suica Card app on my Apple Watch. And it's really more convenient than buying tickets because the app allows you to top up easily, so less of a hassle. I'm on my way to the temple where the 47 Ronin tombs are placed. Let me show you while walking through the subway. So to get there, you are going to get off at the Sengakuji train station and you make your way to the Sengakuji, which is a Buddhist temple. Now the story of the 47 samurai is a legendary one. After their feudal lord was forced to commit ritual suicide unhonorably, 47 samurais decided to exact revenge on the official who ordered it. After the revenge was carried out, the 47 Ronin decided to submit themselves to the government for punishment, and as punishment, they were all ordered to commit ritual suicide, and their remains are housed in this temple. This tale has been immortalized in fiction and in written works. When I found out about this temple, I knew I had to make it as part of my stop on my solo trip, and this is me walking towards the site of their graves. There is an entrance fee to pay, and then they will give you a bunch of burning joss sticks that you can use to offer at each of the grave sites. Now, if you're a fan of history or legendary tales or samurai, I highly recommend checking out the grave sites of the 47 Ronin, just to be able to walk through and pay homage to the 47 Ronin was such an interesting experience. I just thought that it was easily one of the highlights of my solo trip. They also provide an audio guide for you as you enter the temple that you can listen to, and then they will show you spots around the temple where it's significant to the tale of the 47 Ronin. Whenever I'm in Tokyo, one of the places that I make it a point to stop over is all the guitar shops along Ochanomizu. This is definitely a guitar haven for guitarists, and you can find a mixture of used and first-hand guitars, and they sell everything, so it's worth checking out. I headed to a cozy jazz club on one of the evenings. Checking out the jazz blues scene was on my list on this trip. Next morning, I headed out for some Western breakfast. Yes, you heard me. If you're in Tokyo, I highly recommend you check out this place called Sarabeth's. They do great, excellent French Western food, and I like to go there for their breakfast. They have two branches, one in Shinjuku and one in Ueno. This branch in Ueno seems to be new, and it's a little bit out of the way, but definitely not as crowded as Shinjuku. This is their Eggs Benedict with smoked salmon. Worth trying. Also, I finally got a chance to visit the Fender flagship building in Harajuku, and let me take you through its interior. So you basically have floors of guitars on display, and I believe that you can actually buy the guitars as well. The designs were very unique and only exclusive in Japan only, and there are some souvenirs or accessories that you can buy. However, that's all there is to it. It's definitely a good visit for anyone who is a guitarist or interested in the history of Fender guitars in Japan, but I feel that that's all the building has to offer. I like the fact that you can actually try out the Fender guitars so that you give yourself an opportunity to experience what's it like to try different models and different brands. But it's not a place that I would see myself regularly visiting whenever I come back to Tokyo. I would highly recommend you check out their website in case they have any events that you can check out. I really enjoyed staying in Ueno for the past few days. I feel that compared to the other places like Shinjuku or Shibuya, it was definitely quieter and there were less tourists around. It's not as crowded, and I think it's got a nice mix of the local architecture in suburban areas mixed with the commercial parts. Away from the hustle and bustle of the more populated areas, Ueno is a good choice since it is also quite central to places like Ginza and Akihabara. Okay. To be honest, people love it for the food and just for the, because tourism and like holidays and stuff. But it's not for me. It's not because I'm an introvert. It's just like I don't see the point in. Now, if you're in a city area and you've not tried this before, one thing I recommend you to do is to head to a shopping mall and head down to the first floor. Or sometimes check the basement area and you will see a lot of small stalls where they sell chocolates and snacks that really make for good souvenirs. And it's all found in one place. So I think that's the charm of visiting these shopping centers. Now in this clip, I'm heading to Ueno train station. Ueno is a main train station that you can take the train directly to Narita Airport. What I like about this experience was that the lines were not long at all, so there was no long waiting time as you can see here. I was only maybe the third person in line to buy my ticket. Now don't forget to buy and book a reserved seat for your trip to the airport.
All fare information will be displayed in English.
And that was it. I got my train ticket. It's now time to take the train. And that's it for my trip to Tokyo. I really enjoyed this whole solo trip, doing things that I wanted to do and to check out places in Tokyo that I have not been before. I look forward to coming here again. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe and follow.